Major League Cricket is coming this summer, but most Americans still do not know very much about how the game works. So, with that being said, here's a quick tutorial with most of what you'll need to know to watch, understand, and appreciate cricket before the season starts this summer. So, first off, the premise is very similar to baseball. There's 11 players instead of 9, but the offense is just trying to score runs by hitting the ball, and the defense is trying to take wickets or get outs and prevent runs. The, the gameplay is very different though. So the ball has a single seam, as you can see around the outside, as opposed to the horseshoe of a baseball. It's slightly smaller and slightly heavier, which makes it a decent amount more dense than a baseball. The bat is slightly shorter than a baseball bat, but way wider, and it's got that flat side on it that they're trying to make contact with instead of the round barrel that you're used to with baseball. And then this is the stumps. So instead of bases, they have stumps. It's got the 3 stumps that are stuck into the ground, and then these 2 bales that are resting on top. So the batsman's trying to keep these bales from being knocked down. So this is a standard cricket field. Just like in baseball, there's no standard size, but it's an oval that the boundary can be no more than 90 yards in any direction to the boundary from the pitch, and no fewer than 65 yards on the short side. You've got the close infield, which is 30 yards from where the batsmen are standing, and the close infield, which is 15 yards. Some formats have various different limitations on where the fielders can be positioned before the bowl. I'm not going to get into that today, though. And then here's the pitch, which is the very center. So all the action takes place in the very center of the oval. The batsmen are going to be starting within the crease, and the bowler has to release the ball with their at least part of their foot behind the bowling crease as well. So, scoring runs. The goal primarily is to hit the ball to score runs, as well as protect the wicket. So every time you run back and forth between the creases on the pitch, you get 1 run. And then if you hit the ball to where it hits the boundary, we can roll, bounce over the boundary, that's 4 automatic runs, and you don't need to run back and forth. And if you hit it over the boundary on the fly, like a home run, that's worth 6 runs. So if the bowler or a fielding team makes a mistake, that's another way to get a run. So if the wicketkeeper misses the ball, so this is the wicketkeeper, kind of like a catcher in baseball, if it gets by him and rolls to the boundary, that is still 4 runs. And if it gets by him and you have a chance to run back and forth, those runs still count just the same as if you hit it. There's also a no ball, which is kind of like a balk in baseball. So if the bowler makes an illegal delivery, if the bowl is deemed dangerous, so if it bounces and gets above the head, stuff like that, that's equal to a run, and that also does not count as a ball in the over, which I'll talk about later. And then a wide delivery is if the umpire deems that the batsman had no reasonable opportunity to hit the ball. So taking wickets, there's 10 total ways to have your wicket taken. There's 5 most common ones, though you won't see the other 5. So getting caught out, just like in baseball, if you hit the ball on the fly and it's caught on the fly, you're out. You can get bowled out, so it's kind of like a strikeout in baseball. So if the ball knocks down the bails off of the wicket right here, your wicket is taken. Leg before wicket is another one. So if the ball hits you and it would have hit the stumps in the discretion of the umpire, then you're also out. And then if you've seen an international play in Australia, they have really cool replay systems where they estimate if it will hit the stumps. You can get stumped out. So if the catcher catches the ball, if you miss the ball, the catcher catches it and it knocks down the stumps before you get your bat or your foot back in the crease, you're out. And then getting run out, which is what's happening in this photo. If you hit the ball, you run back and forth, and you try to push it a little bit, and the fielder knocks over the bails before you get back into the crease, you're out. There's 5 other more uncommon ways. So if you intentionally handle the ball, you're out. If you hit the wicket during your swing, you're out. If you interfere with the fielders, or if you hit the ball twice intentionally, you're also out. And then also if you take too long to get into the crease, then you're out. So, general gameplay. You have 2 batsmen and 2 bowlers up at once. So, at any given time, the one bowler is bowling to one batsman, as you can see here. but the other batsman also has to run back and forth. A batsman is up until their wicket is taken. So they will stay on the field, they'll be able to hit until they are out. And once you're out for good. The game is divided into overs, which are 6 balls. After every 6 balls, the bowler will change sides, or the bowler will bowl from the other side. So that's why there's 2 bowlers. After 6 balls, the ball goes to the other side and the other bowler pitches to the other batter. If you have a single, so if you only run back and forth once, you stay in that new spot. So if you are running and your teammate is batting, they hit a single, you're now up, unless it's a new over. The innings, so that's 10 wickets, so there's 11 batsmen in the lineup. Once 10 wickets are taken, the innings is over, or in different formats of cricket, there's a set number of balls. So in T20 cricket, which is what Major League Cricket's going to be, that is 20-20, so each team gets 20 overs, which is a total of 120 balls to score their runs. And then also there's some limitations. T20, a bowler can only bowl a maximum of 4 overs, so you'll have to switch out who's bowling. And then there's also some fielding restrictions as well. Cricket in general is very high scoring. A T20 match, a normal score would be about 200 runs for the team. So it's very much a big deal when a wicket gets taken. You'll see that teams will celebrate like they just hit a home run when they take a wicket. So very, very different than baseball. It's not 27 outs. It's just you get 10 outs, or you might not get 10 outs, but you'll go through your number of pitches. So strategy. Since it's a very offensive game, it's very important for that batsman to protect his wicket. It's expected that a single batsman can score 30 plus runs. It's a kind of a big deal when you get to 50. It's called a half century, and then it's not too uncommon for a batsman to score a century or score 100 runs in a single match. And with that being said, it's not very uncommon for the top 2 batsmen on a team to stay up for a good portion of the innings or a good portion of the match. So you might not always see all of the batters or all of the batsmen in a single game. The bowler, primary goal in T20 at least, is to prevent runs. So even if you don't take a single wicket, if you prevent the batsman from getting a hold of the ball and you keep them from running, that's a win. That's a very interesting dynamic also of a single innings, because the entire team will take their innings once, and then the team that goes second will know the exact number of runs that they need to score to win. So that's called the chase. So the team that bats first, they score as many runs as they can, and then the team that goes second has a very clear target of what they're trying to hit. So last thing that I'm going to go over is reading the score bug. So I took this score bug from the first innings, so the first team is batting of an Australian cricket, so the Big Bash League, and I'll just go through each part of it real quick. So right here, this is the team that is up. The Heat are batting. They have 4 of their wickets have been taken. They've scored 154 runs, and this is how many overs. So it's been 17 overs plus 4 balls. So it's a similar notation at innings, like if a pitcher pitches 5.2 innings, that's 5 2/3. This team has gone through 17 overs plus 4 balls. This is the current batsman that's up, and that shows that they have scored 27 runs on 11 balls. This is his partner. So when there's 2 batsmen up, that's called a partnership. The partner that is not currently batting, Hayne, has scored 16 runs on 13 balls. And this is their run rate. So the number of runs that the team so far has scored divided by the number of overs. So on average, they're scoring 8.72 runs per over. This is the team that's pitching. That's the bowler right here. He has taken 1 wicket and allowed 33 runs, and he's bowled 3.4 overs. And then typically, it will show the last 6 balls. So it's got what's happened so far in the over right here. So the first ball was a 6. The second one's a dot ball. That's when the batsman was not able to score any runs. So when the bowler holds them to a dot ball, that's a pretty big deal. Every ball matters. It's not like in baseball where it's like the unit of measurement is an at bat, and each pitch doesn't necessarily contribute to the outcome. Every bowl in cricket counts. And then they've scored 1 run the third ball, 1 run in the fourth ball, and then we're awaiting the next 2 balls in the over. And then this is from the same match, and this is during the chase. So during the chase, everything else is the same, but the main difference is that they know exactly how many runs they need to score and exactly how many balls they have to do it. So they have 46 more runs to score on 24 balls, which, if you're facing a pretty good bowler, that's tough to do, but also you can score up to 6 runs on any ball. So you know that you have to start going for it a little bit when you get to this point. So once again, 3 wickets have been taken. They've scored 130 runs. They've gone through 16 overs. Their total target that they needed to score was 176. This batter has a half century on 32 balls. This batter's scored 22 runs on 19 balls, and they need to score 46 runs on 24 balls. Anyway, if you start watching cricket, it gets a lot easier to follow once you get through a couple matches. So anyway, here's the Seattle Thunderbolts 2022 minor league cricket champions, and let's go Seattle Orcas, see what we can do there.